Over the course of 5 days, 300 federal investigators fanned out across all 50 states in a coordinated sting operation. Their objective? Shutting down more than 7,000 commercial driving schools in a single sweep. The government targeted CDL mills, training programs that charge high fees for 2-day express courses and guaranteed passes, often without providing any real instruction. Pressure had been building since late 2025, when members of Congress demanded a federal investigation into how these schools were exploiting loopholes to put untrained drivers on the road. The Department of Transportation leadership ultimately pulled the trigger, framing the crackdown as a necessary strike against the illegal and reckless practices that define these fraudulent operations. But the fallout of this federal sweep extends far beyond the schools. For thousands of currently employed truck drivers, this enforcement action creates an immediate threat to their ability to keep working. The root of the problem traces back to February 2022 and the implementation of the entry-level driver training mandate, known as ELDT. While the mandate aimed to standardize safety, it relied on a self-certification model. This allowed almost any entity to register as an official training provider without an initial physical inspection. This chart shows the result, a vertical spike in registrations. The registry ballooned to over 32,000 providers almost overnight as businesses rushed to claim their spot. Many of these were ghost schools. They collected thousands in tuition while entirely skipping the mandatory behind-the-wheel training required by federal law. By mandating a new standard for highway safety without a strict gatekeeping mechanism, the government inadvertently created the market for a multi-million-dollar ecosystem of commercial license fraud. The first sign of how dangerous the situation had become appeared in January 2026 during a multi-state enforcement blitz called Operation SafeDRIVE. Over a 3-day period, inspectors examined more than 8,200 commercial trucks across 26 states. This chart compares the out-of-service rates. While the national average typically hovers around 20%, the SafeDRIVE blitz saw that number jump to 47%. Nearly half of the inspected trucks were ordered off the road. Inspectors found drivers who had just received their licenses but failed basic English proficiency and fundamental safety tests on the spot. This high rate of failure provided the probable cause the FMCSA needed to pivot from the highways back to the training providers themselves. In February 2026, investigators conducted 1,426 on-site inspections, resulting in 550 immediate notices of noncompliance. This chart breaks down the specific violations, revealing systemic operational failure. 38% were ghost locations, like vacant lots. 78% falsified records for students who only watched videos. The most prevalent? In 92%, the instructors themselves lacked required commercial licenses. These findings revealed an orchestrated network of fraud that was actively pushing lethal risks onto the public highways. With over 7,000 providers scrubbed from the registry, the industry is now dealing with the complex bureaucratic fallout of the purge. Under Federal Regulation Section 380.721, the FMCSA has the authority to retroactively invalidate training conducted by providers found to be in violation. This creates significant liability for fleet operators, who must now audit the training history of every driver hired since the ELDT mandate began in 2022. Drivers who completed training at a fraudulent school face the prospect of CDL revocation and the requirement to undergo mandatory retraining at a compliant facility. This is only the first phase. The government has already signaled that third-party testers, the people who actually administer the driving tests, are the next target for covert audits. The focus has shifted toward verification. Carriers and drivers now carry the responsibility of proving their training records are legitimate before their next compliance review. In this high-stakes environment, the only way to protect your operation is to maintain a bulletproof, 100% verified training pipeline. This is why ELDT.courses is the definitive solution for Class A CDL theory certification. It removes the risk of federal invalidation by following the rules exactly as written. The platform provides automated data transmission directly to the Federal Training Provider Registry, ensuring your records are official the moment you finish. You get self-paced online learning that meets every federal standard, allowing you to skip the risks associated with unverified third-party schools. The crackdown is removing the bad actors, but it is also increasing the pressure on everyone else. Protecting your livelihood long-term requires partnering with verified, automated compliance tools that you can trust.